So, life after grad is a scam. Okay, I've learned that um, a lot of the times nothing is going to go as you planned it. And I learned that the hard way. So, after university, I just graduated from Birmingham University in 2019, class of 2019. Yes, I finally made it. After 5 years in my degree, I did religious studies with a minor in sociology. I graduated, and that was it. Like, it was like this long pause in my life, and I just didn't know what was next because I feel like before you enter university, when you're in high school or when you're younger, people make it seem as though if you go to university, you get a degree, you get a job. Like that's what we all expect. But that's not always what happens. And so I graduated university and I didn't have any job offers. I was sending my resume to different places. I was filling out applications to different places to the point where I was filling out applications for places that I had never been in my life. But I was like, at this point, I just have to shoot my shot and see where the Lord leads me. And for me personally, I think what was hard about that was because like I am a planner. I like to be like, okay, so the first step is this, the second step is this. So I had it in my head that like I was going to have a job offer by the time I graduate university, and like life was going to be great and I was going to be stress free and nothing was ever going to happen that and nothing was ever going to happen that would be out of my plan. Like my plan was what we were going to follow. I thought me and Jesus, we were here, okay? But obviously, when you try to do things on your own, when you try to take things into your own hands, it's never the way. And I think the reason why it was even harder for me was because um, I had like other people around me who knew what they were going to do, who knew where they were going, who had job offers and stuff. And it was just kind of like, okay, well, Lord, what about me? Like, what are we doing about my situation? So after graduation, I went to Toronto and I spent a lot of time in Toronto with my sister, and still there was no job offer, and I was kind of going day to day without very much security or a sense of security to me. So then, because I was kind of sitting idle and I wasn't doing much and I felt like I wasn't going anywhere, I started to like have this doubt about myself, about what God has planned for me, if He has any plans for me. I started to like doubt whether I was good enough to even get a job, good enough to work, good enough to be in ministry. I started to doubt the calling that God has on my life. I was just doubting myself 100 billion different ways. Like anything you could think of to doubt yourself, like I was thinking it. Like, am I good enough? Am I adequate? Can I do anything? Am I good at anything? Do I have any talents? I was just doubting myself so much and doubting whether or not God still wanted to use me because I felt like I'm not doing anything. Like, He's not using me. So, what am I really doing? That is when I decided to start prayer journaling. I had a mentor and a good friend of mine both gave me these journals for graduation as gifts. And so I was like, you know what? You have two books here that are perfect for prayer journaling. And this is something you've always wanted to do. It's something you always start and never continue. So why not now? While you're not doing anything, while you're sitting at home. And my sister was going to work every day, so I was in her apartment all alone. So I was like, I need to do something and I need to talk to God because I just don't feel like I'm connected right now. So I woke up, I took this one book and I started prayer journaling and talking to God in this journal. And honestly, like I did it for a week straight. I stopped my social media. Like I got off of Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. I even gave up Netflix. Okay, and that was really hard because Netflix has taken me through some tough times. But I let those things go because I was like, if you want to talk to God, you need to be focused on him, because when you are having a conversation with someone, you're not like talking to them and like doing a thousand different things at once, right? Like when you're talking to someone and you want them to know that you're listening, you want to actively be listening to what they're saying and not just be responding to what they're saying, you have to focus on them. And so I made the decision that, like, for that week, I was going to focus on God. What I'm realizing in being consistent with my prayer journaling and these gifts that were given to me and this opportunity that I have um, to prayer journal is that I'm building a friendship with God. And um, even though I've known God my whole life, I'm now taking him not just as like the great I am, but as my friend, my personal friend. So even though I don't know anyone here and adulting is hard, figuring out bills is hard, and figuring out your next meal and going to work and finding the willpower to get up every day and all that kind of stuff, I know that, like, at the end of the day, I'm coming home to my friend and I'm spending the day with my friend, and my friend is guiding me through life.